Firstly, some of the critics there to these claims by Maduro say that he's used this type of accusation in the past, saying that people are out to kill him in order to garner support.
Yeah, this is a signature political tactic of Nicolas Maduro. He is a man who has been seeing plots and conspiracies just about everywhere ever since he succeeded Hugo Chavez, his political mentor. You know, he came into office basically saying that he believed Hugo Chavez, who died of cancer, had been inoculated with cancer by foreign enemies. So he saw, you know, even then, foreign conspiracies, inoculating someone with cancer. I'm not quite sure how that works. But he's been on this time and again. Back in 2015, he was accused of plotting to invade his eastern neighbor, Guyana. There's a territorial dispute with that country dating back centuries, really. He has been accused of seeing right-wing mercenaries being sent from El Salvador to assassinate him in another nefarious plot. He sees a cabal in this latest development here. He sees financiers based in Florida. He sees right-wing schemers and plotters, a whole cabal. He sees Colombia's president, as you said, all behind some sordid conspiracy, everyone to undermine him and bring him down. Time and again, we have seen him using the specter of a conspiracy against him, his person, assassination attempts, as a sort of political tool, a political weapon, if you will, in order to nullify or invalidate any form of dissent, because dissenters all of a sudden become terrorists. They are people who are out to get him personally. The country must unite around not just him, but around the entire nation, protect them from all of these insidious plotters and schemers, right-wingers within and without. But usually the imperial U.S. Is the most sordid, the biggest culprit.
And yet this time he's pointing the finger pretty directly at Colombia. Why is that?
Colombia. What an unlikely candidate in a sense. Now, okay, let's be fair here. The Colombian president does not love Nicolas Maduro. That is very clear. Okay, Juan Manuel Santos, whose last day in office is today, he leaves tomorrow, hands over to a right-wing president, Ivan Duque. He has said that he believes that a change of regime or the fall of this government is pretty much imminent. And he's, cited, he's looked at the economic humanitarian crisis there, the rise in violent crime, the diplomatic isolation of this country, the desperate measures of Nicolas Maduro. But there's a long leap between saying that he doesn't think this man's going to last too long to plotting an attack. Juan Manuel Santos, the Colombian president, is perhaps one of the most admired internationally Latin American leaders in generations. He's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. He almost single-handedly was able to extract a peace deal from the FARC rebels after half a century, bringing them back into the political fold. He got another big award from an Irish association recently, also a peace award. This is a man who's been internationally recognized. So sure, he doesn't love Maduro, but he's not plotting a coup against him. That said, Maduro has called him a lackey. He believes he's a lackey, Santos, of the United States. My bet is Santos has absolutely nothing to do with this plot, which is not to say he loves the president of Venezuela.
Meanwhile, a lot of people say that the president of Venezuela is very secure. He's got a very loyal army that backs him constantly. Is that true?
Well, first of all, let's look at some of the pictures, right? You saw the same photos, the images I did. The soldiers all sort of the first blast scattering all over the place. It's true. The army has been sort of his shield, his most loyal institutional protectors, if you will. And yet, we have seen quite a bit of rumblings of dissent, reports leading up to the May vote, where Hugo Chavez won in a vote that the opposition say was falsified and rigged. But we saw a lot of reports of desertion, of discontent, essentially the soldiers sympathizing with the people that they were supposed to be sort of going after, the protesters, because they see the economic straits that they're in, sympathizing with the Venezuelan population. Questions of just how rock solid this loyalty is. Last year in August, we actually had claims that a Venezuelan contingent had taken over an army base, rebel soldiers, in Valencia, in that city, an attack which the government said was quickly put down. They branded these people as terrorists attacking the nation. But we've seen kinks in that armor, we've seen fissures, and we've seen signs that army may not be solidly as behind Maduro as some reports, at least out of the government, would like us to believe. So signs of discontent within the army, as well as much more broadly within society.
Indeed. Okay, well, Douglas Herbert, we'll have to leave it at that, but thanks indeed.